Hello everyone, today we're looking at Baby Audio's very first synth, the BA-1. Now the BA-1 is based on the Yamaha CS01, which has been used by notable bands such as Depeche Mode, The Chemical Brothers, Radiohead, Daft Punk, and the Human League, and it's even been featured recently on the Stranger Things soundtrack. So today I want to give you an idea of exactly what this synth can do and what it sounds like. And this is not a sponsored video, however, Baby Audio was kind enough to give me a 10% discount code for all my viewers. So if you end up wanting to grab this synth, use the affiliate link and the code included in the description. Alright, without further ado, let's check out this synth. Alright, so this is the new BA-1 synth, and it's completely resizable, as you can see. You can also change the colors right here up at the top left. And let's just take a minute to go through some of these controls, and then I'm going to show you a little demo that I created using this synth. First of all, you have your oscillators right here. You have two oscillators, and this crossfade, you can actually crossfade between oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. And you also have glissando right here. You have a third FM oscillator, and this can be dialed in underneath oscillator 1 and 2, either an octave above or an octave below. Next, you have the filter section with analog modeled filters. And right here you have your envelope section, which is actually modeled after the original hardware. But they've added this sync feature, which if you turn this on, it'll actually sync the attack times to the host BPM of your DAW. Then you have your LFO section, which is also modeled after the original hardware, but with a little extra added bite and depth. They've also added this sidechaining feature where you can route in an external track and have it sidechained with a desired amount. In the last large section, you have the tone, drive, delay, and reverb. And one thing Baby Audio is well known for is great effects. So these all sound really great, and I'm particularly enjoying the drive feature and the tone knobs, as well as the reverb. Lastly, there's three really amazing and unique features that you have in this synth. So the original Yamaha CS01 actually could be powered with batteries. But one of the things that users notice is as the battery started to drain, you would experience weird sonic artifacts, pitch fluctuations, and even distortion. So they put this in here to where you can actually drain the battery to start getting some of those weird anomalies, and it's actually really fun to play with. The other feature that the original Yamaha CS01 featured was an external speaker, and if you look over here in the bottom left, there's this little speaker switch where you can turn this on, and it models the sound of the speaker where you can get a very different tone and also more of a lo-fi sounding effect. Lastly, in the output section, there's this regen button, and I've actually had a whole lot of fun playing with this. It's kind of a randomizer, and every time you hit that, it's going to give you a brand new sound to check out. So I want to play this little 80s inspired demo that I created using only the BA-1, and then we'll dive into some of the sounds I used. So now I want to take you through some of the individual sounds that I used to create this composition. So the whole composition starts off with these two patches, Selena and Boards of Toronto. I like those really lush sounding synth strings, and I used a heavy dose of the included reverb. And you can see on the Boards of Toronto sound that I turned the battery all the way down to about 20%, and it gave it that weird warbly sound. Now, one of the things that the CS01 is known for is really thick bass sounds. And I actually used 3 patches to get the bass sound for this composition. One was just kind of in the center as kind of a low sub sound. And then I used 2 other bass sounds that are more like mid-rangey and kind of distorted. And I panned those hard left and right. So here's those 3 sounds. And the 3 are thick subs, gritty mono strings, and big boy boxta. Here's another just huge and lush synth string sound called Selena Diamonds. Here's 3 lead sounds that I used, and actually used these parts all in conjunction. So I'll play them individually and then all together. So this first sound is called Braveheart. The second one's called Harmonium Shimmer. And the last one's called Acra Lead. Now all together. I use this next sound as one of the key melody sounds throughout the first part of this composition, and I really like this sound. It's called Gritty Mono String. Here's another really interesting synth string, and I created this using the patch Selena, and I turned the speaker on. So this gives you an idea of what the speaker sounds like with kind of a more lo-fi sound. Here's with the speaker off. So you could hear when the speaker's on, it's definitely a more mono sound, it's definitely grittier, and it's just this cool character. Here's another sound I used in the second section called Angry Organ. Now, one of the settings I really love in this synth is this chorus button. So let me show you that sound again with the chorus off, and then I'll pop it in. Now with it in. I love that. It just made that lead so much bigger and more interesting. Now, one thing the BA-1 has plenty of is great synth strings. So here's another one called Ranger Strings. I love that modulation, just pitch dive that's happening. And a lot of times those modulated layers inside of a bunch of other things that are happening really give it more character with those pitch dips and stuff. Here's a great arpeggiated sound called Jupiter's Glory. And no, your headphones are not broken. I do have that pan to the left side. And later I layered in this sound called Retro Futurist. And I'll actually point this out that these are actually both pad sounds, but taking the attack all the way down to 0, I was actually able to use them as really nice kind of arpeggiated like ARP sounds. So here's those two together. One of the things I'm really enjoying about the BA-1 is it's just loaded with those type of sounds, that kind of warbly, modulated, pitch bendy. And when you layer a lot of those sounds together, you just get this really cool, thick vibe. Lastly, I want to show you this synth called Poison Synth Strings. And this one has a step ladder filter and Cubase put on it. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Don't forget, if you want to buy this synth, use the affiliate link in the description, and also make sure to use the code to get the 10% off. So I had a ton of fun playing around with this synth, and I can definitely see it making its way into my compositions. That's it for today. We'll see you in the next video.